Greetings and salutations, this is Emperor Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello!
We're going to be having a happy little look at the command blister pack for the Polish army, which is one of the blister packs that comes. There's one that's got a sniper team in, anti-tank rifle and a mortar. This one has the officers in it, and you get one officer and a second officer who's sort of pointing and waving a rifle. This one's cool because he's got a trench coat. Another medic, this guy who's running along with a radio and a map book, and a little dog who's got a really cute little wire he carries with him, which is really awesome. We had a few spare figures left over from the other stuff, so we've added a radio operator to one of the officers, and we've added a corporal to the observation team. So that all made sense, didn't it?
To me, yeah.
Yeah. So quickly run down the figures. Who should we do first?
Dog. The runner.
The dog, okay. You probably can't see the dog entirely brilliantly, but this is the guy here. He's a dog bringing a ball of wire, which is really laying a communication cable, a phone cable. So the dog runs along laying the phone cable, and you have the guy here with the field telephone that he's running along with, and I've added a little officer to the base to make it a little vignette. Quite a nice little casting figure and running along quite nicely. I quite like that. So this guy is going to be used as a forward artillery observer, and the other guy that we have, which comes with the actual box set, which is this guy. This guy we're going to be using as the forward air observation team. So he's got a radio and he's got the field telephone. So we can tell the difference instantly between the two different types of observers. So we'll move on to the next guy, who is the medic. Now there's not really too much to say about the medic, he's just a medic. You already know how medics work. That is the medic you get with the normal box, and this is a slightly different medic. So our Polish army's got quite a few medics knocking around.
That's because it's got such a large unit.
Yeah. So that's the normal medic, and I've put the medic thing on his helmet. This one I've left the medic thing off, but I've given him I've painted on an extra bag, so he looks even more medic-y. Just wanted the medics to look slightly different. Just makes them look a little bit more interesting. Different, yes. Lastly, we have the officers. Now, these guys are awesome. This one is pointing with a rifle held high, and this one has a trench coat on, and has a grenade in one hand and a pistol in the other.
And when an officer has a grenade in his hand, he means business.
Oh yeah. This is like who's the guy out of the 40k books? The commissar. Gaunt?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, the officer, the commissar. He's really funny. He reminds me of him. I don't know why. I'm not sure who designed the model, but I really like him. So he's got a nice little trench coat, and he just looks good. So the officers for this army, we've done one up as a second lieutenant and one up as a first lieutenant, and the other one up as a captain. So the guy based on his own, who is obviously an officer, he's going to be used as the captain, and that guy there is going to be used as the first lieutenant. And I've given the first lieutenant a radio just to make it look more like a lesser unit. So that is the entirety of the box set. Although obviously I've added 2 figures to the actual box, but that's because of the way I based them. That's basically the box. Next we'll be getting the sniper team, won't we?
Yes.
Yeah, the sniper team with mortar and everything.
The sniper team.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few other things to get for the Polish army. We're going to spend a lot of time on this army, and we're going to make it look absolutely awesome. We're already working on some scenery. So, yeah. Questions, over to you.
Why are the dogs carrying the wire, not the humans, soldiers?
Basic utility. Dogs are very useful. They do what you tell them, roughly. usually better than the average human. So you strap something to the back of a dog, you run along, the dog pulls the cables and they unravel behind the dog. It's quite useful.
Does that count as animal cruelty?
Why?
Because you're forcing an animal to do something.
You're not forcing the animal to do something. The dogs are very well fed, they're patted and stroked. When a police dog eats someone, tears someone's arm off and
bites his foot off so you can run away.
Yeah, they basically chews their arm off or chews their foot off. They get a little treat and a pat on the head. That's happy dog. Happy dog. The dogs in airports, they're trained to smell drugs on people. So the dog goes up to them and smells drugs and then it sits down and it's found the drugs, and so you go and you arrest the guy and you empty all his clothes out and find out he's got some drugs hidden on him, and the dog gets a treat. Now that never made any sense to me, because if I was a dog, every single person who walked past, whenever I was hungry, I'd just sit next to him and I knew I would get fed. But I'm sure they must work something out for them. Yes, I'm being facetious, I do apologise. Dogs are awesome.
It's a classic hymn.
Yeah, dogs in war, often used in war. They used to be used for carrying messages in medieval times. They were used as weapons in the Dark Age period, the Roman period. The German tribes trained huge dogs to eat Romans. The Celts used dogs in warfare. The Saxons used dogs in warfare. So, yeah, dogs. In fact, the Incas, I think it's Incas or the Mayans, they used dog chariots that pull dogs, or dogs that pull chariots, which is very strange. Yeah, I know. They never invented the horse.
You never found a horse. Didn't know what a horse does.
No, when they saw the conquistadors, they thought the conquistadors were driving gods. Yeah. Because the horse looked slightly like one of their gods, and they went, "Oh look, they're riding on the backs of gods. That's awesome." Yeah, I know. They're stupid, backward people who've never invented anything. But there we go. That's what happens. If
your horse looks like if your god looks like a horse, then you might have a problem.
Actually, that's an even better one than I thought of. Yeah, if you worship a god that looks like a horse,
then you might have a problem.
Yeah, you've got a few problems going on there. Yeah, like why don't you worship half a dozen of these animals? It really goes down to nature worship. You're worshipping the things that God has created.
Oh look,
and stuff.
Nature just made this massive sinkhole. No, it was God. It was my horse god. No,
Well, Dad, but if you don't know why a sinkhole is made, you think the god of the underworld has just made the ground fall out.
No,
you would, because you have no other explanation for it. You haven't got Plato sat next to you explaining the basics of the theology behind you. Hey, huge hole appeared in the ground. God must have done it.
Look, I think the hole's already there. It was there years ago. It's just finally it's collapsed.
Yeah, water erodes.
That's what a sinkhole is.
Yeah, water erodes the ground underneath, and the ground collapses on top of it.
It leaves the top layer last.
But unless you've got geologists, how do you know that's true? How do you know that works? And you need people to be able to think logically about these things.
We could be standing on a sinkhole right now.
Yeah. Well, the Celts knew about sinkholes. They were quite impressed with them because they did a lot of mining, and so they knew that if they did too much mining, you would have sinkholes appear. So they knew about it.
That's why we did our mines deep underground.
Well, we went deep underground because that's where the coal is. But usually most tin mines were.
I mean, I went down there, and it takes like 10 minutes to get down there, and then it becomes really hot.
Well, yeah.
I was wearing a t-shirt.
You're getting lower and lower down.
And then you got to give it a piece of coal to bring home with you. Yeah.
You know what? We used to have coal delivered in sacks. In fact, we still do.
We still do actually.
We have a coal fire.
And that's not proper coal though.
No, we're not allowed to use proper coal because the European Union says it's evil. Apparently, coal's bad, and we have to use magic coal, which is exactly the same as the other coal, but apparently doesn't make any smoke. It just makes toxic fumes and stuff instead. Look, carbon's carbon, deal with it. So...
The nice real coal's probably better than this coal.
Well, yeah, it burns hotter. I mean, most coal-fired plants these days are using Indian coal, which is absolutely rubbish.
Next they're going to say they can't use trees for paper or wood.
Yeah, I'm not even getting involved in any of that. So, anyway... we got past the dog thing, for some reason went on to gods. Let's skip God for a bit. I'm sure that gods are important, but they're not important today. Next question.
See, I have lots of questions. Let me start rambling about this stuff and it's flown out my head.
Yeah, but this is supposed to be a discussion on the Polish. The Polish officer code, the rules for the Polish officers I've already discussed in the officers video. I do quite like the rules. They're basically classed as fanatics, so they are quite useful, the Polish officers, because they have the fanatic special rule, which can make their units very, very hard to break. Well, in fact, impossible to break, especially in combat. So, yeah, that is a good thing. And so having 2 officers is going to be very useful for our army, because we're going to be able to not only augment the morale of the units, but also make them fanatics as well, which is going to be pretty interesting when we get to use them.
Yeah.
Also, given that the Polish army's units are so large, 19-man strong units.
Yep.
Made up of 3 sections.
667.
667. Plus you have an officer attached to it and an anti-tank team. You effectively have 3 squads there, with anti-tank capability and their fanatics. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's
and
pretty
I think
good going.
if you don't shoot down a plane, balls back, machine gun or strafe your men,
yeah,
you're not going to survive it.
Yeah.
You know, large unit, it's impossible to miss.
But you can use the anti-tank rifle as anti-aircraft gun.
Yeah, that didn't work last game because
No.
my first target from all your units was the anti-tank rifle team.
Yeah. But because the anti-tank rifle was the most dangerous thing to you.
Yeah, well, because I had a tank.
Yeah, because you had a tank, and my anti-tank rifle could kill your tank. So, next question.
I already told you I've lost them all.
Okay.
Oh no, come on.
Oh, go on then.
How come they... where are these people? Whereabouts are they?
Poland?
Why are they wearing trench coats?
Because it...
I thought I was in trench warfare and winter.
No, it was quite... It was getting towards winter.
Oh, that makes sense. More sense.
Yeah, getting towards winter 1939, most of the Polish army would have been in greatcoats and stuff. It was not warm. Plus it's on a latitude that tends to be slightly colder in winter. So yeah, they would have been in their winter coats and stuff. And it's like Waterloo. Everyone at Waterloo wore a trench coat. All the armies at Waterloo wore trench coats. Who does figures with trench coats at Waterloo? Hardly anyone does. They all want them in the nice pretty colours. But in reality, almost every single Napoleonic battle was fought in trench coats.
Yeah.
Because most of them were fought in poor weather. And if you're fighting in Russia, the Russians didn't even wear a jacket. They fought in waistcoat for the most part. So you can buy Russians and put them on the battlefield, but in reality they would stack all their kit up, and their kit bags and their ammunition, all the spare stuff, their bread rolls and everything, put it all in a huge pile, then they'd go off and form up and fight the battle.
Which is a safer way.
Yeah, they didn't carry their kit with them into battle, but you always get Russian figures with backpacks and stuff on. They never fought with backpacks on, they took their kit off to fight.
All of them have backpacks on, yeah.
Yeah, but they took their kit off to fight. Which is why when they lost, it tended to go bad for them, because they left their kit in a field where the French would steal it. But you try and explain that to people, because they live in this fantasy little world where everyone looks like a painting, and that's not how it really worked. So most of the Polish army was in trench coats. Most of the Polish army had rain covers over their boots. Look at the photographs of that period. Photographs at least taken during the actual campaign, which there aren't many, but they all show the Polish tend to be dressed for winter rather than dressed for summer, especially the mounted units. So yeah, next one.
That's more.
That's all of them. Who's your favourite figure?
The dog.
The dog. The dog's your favourite figure. You're a strange person.
It's because it's the first time I've ever seen a dog bolt action.
It is. You can get, I believe, Warlord sells. I may have dreamt it. No, I'm sure I've seen it. Warlord sells dogs with explosive bombs on the back.
You mean you wish it at night?
No, I think I've actually seen them. For the Soviet army, the Soviets used dogs with explosives on the back, which were completely useless because the dogs were trained to run underneath Russian tanks. So on the battlefield, the dogs ran under Russian tanks because they're trained to run under Russian tanks. German tanks smell funny because they use different fuel. So the dogs ran towards the tanks they recognised. So they had to be machine gunned in their hundreds. So didn't work out for them. Didn't work out at all.
So if I were them, I would go behind enemy lines and then make the dog sniff the German tanks rather than just smell their own.
I just don't
Did
think...
the Russians think that the Germans used the same fuel as the Russians?
No. Russian tanks tended to be diesel, and which is why they're so noisy. You could see them coming a mile off because if you've ever seen a World War II Russian tank move, it has a huge blue plume behind it, so you can see it a mile off. German tanks tended to use petrol, so they didn't have a huge flume. They would when you started the engine, but once it started running, it wouldn't make a huge amount of smoke, and they tended to be quieter. Although the weight of late war German tanks, you could hear them coming.
Well, now we use more petrol than diesel.
I'm not sure what modern British tanks use. I'm not interested in modern British tanks. I would assume we use petrol. I'm not sure.
I've seen that
diesel
tank
makes
that
more
we
sense.
used in Afghanistan. That looks like a cage.
Yeah,
it's a cage with a window for the driver.
Yeah, they're to stop. The Russians invented it. It's I can't remember what it's called. It's the nickname bed springs. It's so RPGs, German Panzerfaust and Panzerschrecks detonate before they hit the hull.
Oh man, that's quite right.
And they use them today to stop things like RPGs, which are based on the German Panzerfaust. It detonates too soon, so it doesn't penetrate the armour because they're fitted with a high explosive anti-tank round.
Oh, what they're preparing for?
Insurgents firing rockets at them. So the Russians used the same. The Germans didn't really need to use those. They used Zimmerit, which was to stop magnetic mines sticking to the side of the tank, and they also used Schützen, which was a steel plate attached to the side of the tank with a gap in between, so the anti-tank round would detonate before it hit the hull, which is why it was quite...
That reminds me of this magnet that's been invented, and you get it and you put it towards a camera or something, or a computer drive, and it erases all of it. It erases everything.
Yeah, so you really don't want one, do you, really? Because you would wipe all your stuff.
Unless you want to prank someone, but I don't prank.
That wouldn't be a good prank.
It wouldn't be a good prank. you get beaten up at the end of it.
Yeah, you'd probably end up having your head back against the wall or something. If someone did that to my collection of stuff, I would be really annoyed because it took me years to write this stuff down.
Bolt action, Caesar.
Yeah, and all the writing I've done. God, if I lost all that, I would be very, very...
Oh, your business and all.
Yeah.
Your business.
So, I would be in a very bad mood and I wouldn't have a smiley face. But
no, you'd have a blood face too.
Yeah, well, I back everything up anyway. But...
You can't with that though. It destroys everything.
I've got everything backed up. I back everything up on separate drives.
Anyhow, that is the Polish.
Yeah, but when I saw this online, I just took one look at this guy and I said, I have to have this. I never got it, so they're cool. That is the end of the video. Yeah, that's it. I was going to do like an unboxing video of it, but...
We changed our minds.
Yeah, because they come in a blister, and unpacking a blister is about as interesting as, I don't know, watching someone take lead out of a plastic bag. So we decided to paint them up first and then do a video on them already painted. So it's kind of an unboxing video, but not.
Yeah.
So we'll add this to our Polish Army box, I suppose.
Yeah.
Our Polish Army videos. So thank you very much for watching. Over to my trusty sidekick.
So, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe and comment down below what you think of the dog.
Right, okay, and let me know what you think about the rest of them. Thank you very much for watching. Good day.
That's everything from me.
Oh yeah, and everything from him. Sorry. Good day.
Bye.